You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. Today's guest is Jim Tollefson, President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii since 2002. Mr. Tollefson is also an active member in the community where he serves on multiple boards and committees. Okay, so the idea of these groups helping to come up with a new nonprofit organization, are they just ideas that they discuss within their meetings, or is it like just a smaller group within the chamber? How does it go about actually founding these larger nonprofit organizations?
Well, I'm sure that many of these organizations came about in different ways. Probably people looking for ways to contribute back to the community and to help the community would see a need and then would organize to help satisfy that need. But I'm sure in some cases it was one or two people coming together. In some cases it might have been a group of people saying, this makes sense, we need to get together and do this. Again, because the Chamber was and is the premier business organization in the state, a lot of businesses felt it important, a lot of business people felt it was important to do these sorts of things.
So as a business person, do you think that that's one of the advantages? Is it, I want to give back to the community, but I don't want to just go and do an organization on my own. I can join the Chamber of Commerce to meet friends and network, and at the same time learn and join them as a group to give back to the community?
Well, that's true. I think that joining an organization like the Chamber provides that opportunity. I think you'll find, and you've found as you've talked with many of the previous people that have been on the program, that there is a real desire in the business community here to give back. I have to say, I've lived in many cities across the United States, and one of the things that impressed me when I first came, and still continues to impress me, is the amount and the degree of giving back to the community in this city, in this state. It truly is a great thing that you see, and you see lots of business people out there who will give hours and hours and dollars of their own time to help support very important and critical issues.
So with the committees that the Chamber has, I know they have a military committee, a government affairs committee, and several other committees. For the business people that don't actually see how that works, how does that work within the Chamber? What do they actually do? How do they engage these these organizations such as the government or military? How does that work?
Well, that's a great question. We're a volunteer-driven organization, and although we have a small staff of about 14 people, the key ingredient is the involvement of the business people and the businesses in the community. So the way that works organizationally is that many business people will join these various committees. You mentioned the Government Affairs Committee, you mentioned the Military Affairs Committee, we've got an Educational Committee, we've got an Environmental Committee, we've got a Human Resources Committee, a Tourism and Visitor Industry Committee. And this is where people are able to get involved and help communicate what they feel is important. We then take this information and the desire that is expressed by the businesses and either work again with the legislature or the administration of city and state if it requires legislative action, or in some cases it doesn't require legislative action and will work for other ways to help solve issues or improve other challenges.
So the Chamber Committee actually meets with the lawmakers and legislators, and they try to do these things together?
No, not necessarily. In some cases, yes, certain committees will send delegations to meet with legislators. But in most cases, that direct contact is made through myself and my staff and normally our chair and key members of the board. Now, one of the things that we are trying to do, and we are doing, is to get more business involvement, because it's important for businesses to do that, to go directly and talk with the legislators. And we can help facilitate that and lead that.
So if you want more business involvement, I know there's probably results coming out of these committees that most business people probably don't even hear about. What would some of those be?
You mean the results that are coming out?
Yeah, so the committee meets, they deal with the legislature, great things happen. We don't really know that it originated at the Chamber. So as business people, what things are originating out of the Chamber in these committees that would make us want to participate?
Let me give you, I think, an excellent example that happened this past year, in fact, the past few months. We all became aware on July 1st that Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard was being considered to be added to the Base Realignment and Closure list. That's called the BRAC. And that is an initiative that takes place from time to time at the national level to identify what military facilities can be closed or reduced in size to save money for the government. And when we found out that the Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard was going to be considered to be added to that list, our Military Affairs Council, our committee of military committee, sprung into action and helped coordinate, in fact, I would say help lead a group of people and organizations, including our congressional delegation, the governor's office, the mayor's office, the Navy, the shipyard, the unions, and we all came together and worked together, and the end result was that the shipyard was not placed on the closure list, consequently taking out of jeopardy approximately 6,000 jobs with an economic impact of the state of over $1 billion a year. So there's one case where the Chamber, through one of its committees, stepped up and really took a decisive and successful action.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.